on this side, my brothers and sisters in the industry, I honor your presence. I am Hilama George Williams, Kiddy Face, a musician, a music producer. I have lasted in the industry for over 19 years. Um, I was blessed to be one of the first chairperson to make my speech on the first day of the meeting, which was convened by Mr. Okelo and Sylvia Wall at the hub. At the hub. That brought about the formation of work. In that meeting, the first day, there was a comprising and formation of over 30, they call task force members, of which I was opportuned to be the vice chairperson of the task force after Chairman Badman Solo. On that day, the meeting was convened to bring about, it was aimed to address the challenges that faces the artists in northern Uganda. This is because for a very long time, we have seen artists from Central goes to Salim Saleh. We don't know whether they take money or what, but we find them accommodated in our hotels and they're living good life in our eyes, beneath our eyes. So as Northern Uganda, it is not a pride. I'm sorry to correct this. It is not a pride, but it is understanding your integrity and your value. Not to just go and beg because you see somebody's begging. If you want to build an everlasting legacy, you don't need to compromise your integrity because you're hungry. You don't need to go and start stealing because you're hungry. I also want to put something, Mama. I want to challenge a statement that you made. Because I am an Acholi man, and even in my class, I learned Acholi, I wrote it, Acholi. There is a saying, when you are a hunter in Acholi, the person who will first spear the animal already knows the path he's going to take. Okay? The second person, the one who spears the second to finish the animal, also takes bat. This part. Okay? But the one who spears first takes the head and the thigh. Okay? And then those who make noise to confuse the animal, they take the end, the the liver, those things. Okay? That is how it is in Acholi. So when you say we were already fighting for what it is still invisible, it's because we know. In Acholi they say a cock knows, fears the one who, and feathers the tail.
But can I ask you a question?
Yes, Mama.
When we go hunting, you said it correctly.
Yeah.
The person who spears first,
yeah,
will get that part.
Yes.
The second will get the next. But do you know in your group who will spear first?
Now, this is where we are coming.
It comes when you have speared, then you get that part.
Now, this is where.
Second,
Thank you.
Yes, priest.
This is where I am coming to make everything become very busy. We, as the association heads, we were contacted on that very first meeting. Maybe you just didn't know. But in our submission, you were there on that first day.
No,
she wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
She was not there.
Oh, it was General.
General
I was never in those meetings.
Yeah.
I only came to the OPM when you had already moved to OPM.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I got my report from Okelo and came.
That means, Mama,
No, when I came, you were still there. Then you left that day.
Yeah. This actually even gives me more authority to now give you details of what happened on that day. So when there was a formation of 30 members task force, subsequently the task force was reduced to 10 members to focus on crucial paperwork. Okay? So later on, in a surprising turn of events, the technical team was downsized to only 4 individuals, of which their reasons were citing the cost-cutting measures as the reason. That because every day when they sit to work on papers, they need to take tea, they need to take breakfast, and so forth and so on. This, honestly speaking, it happened not in the will of the industry. Okay? Because the model or the selection, the process of selecting the technical members was not consulted. Okay? So when these people were there, they started looking at themselves that like they were the bosses up there. They were prioritized in everything. Informations were all cut off from down here. So now, what happens is the 4 people and literally assumed key leadership position and registered the association without proper consultation or approval of the wider membership of the members. Currently, we have had meetings. We just see people are donning on t-shirts of work and they are standing next to Saleh. Now, a person like me who was supposed to, who is the vice chairperson, work, who does not have any single clue, but I have thousands of people in my association under Creative Artists of Lowland. Powerful musicians, powerful DJs and MCs. They sent me there. By the way, they appointed me to be in the position of the vice chairperson because they understand my credibility or leadership potentiality. That is why they trusted me in that position. Just to let you know, in the initial state and formation of facilitating the paperwork and all these things, we contributed money per association. These are informations you don't know.
How much money?
50,000 each association. Creative Artists of Lowland. I made a phone call when we were in a meeting, and I endorsed my my treasurer to approve 50,000 from our account, and it was wired directly to the phone of Badman Solo.
Yes. How many associations?
We were 6 over, like 6, 7 associations contributed. They contributed 50,000.
And again, another.
And then,
9 associations.
yeah,
9
associations to facilitate the paperwork and registration process.
That's 450.
Yes. Also to help secure the name, like preservation of the name.
For registration.
Yes, registration. As committed and very vigorous leaders who were there representing different associations in this work, we deemed it fit because it was presented to us like something for the industry, not for individuals. So we agreed under the directives of the chairman that let us contribute, let each and every head of the association contribute again 20,000 to support this thing.
20K.
We contributed that 20,000.
20,000 is contributed by how many people?
The head of the association. Nine.
In each association.
Yes.
9 associations.
9 associations.
That is 180,000.
Each association contributed 50,000. And then later on, heads of associations contributed 20,000. Yes.
Yeah.
To facilitate the registration and
Paperwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
So that is like 70,000
Yeah.
times 9.
Yes.
Yes.
And then later on, in our subsequent meeting, I remember we were still at the hub. These people told us that because there was a silence after our contribution on the paperwork and other things. Me, I was in school, but I kept closely to my chairperson. Since I was the vice, I needed to know everything so that when he's also not there, I am able to stand in this position as the vice chairperson. So, okay. Yeah. So there was a gap of communication. Every time I could talk to my chairperson, Batman Solo, he tell me, "First wait, we are yet find out." Yeah. Yeah. So after our contribution for the paperwork and preservation of the name, I remember that was the last point I had to get informations pertaining the progress of work at the state of name preservation when they brought out a logo and we were trying to fidget on which one is the best logo to go with. That is where the whole thing ended as me, the vice chairperson. I was kept in the dark. My musicians from my association kept on asking me, what is happening? So yeah. So I had to pick my phone and call Pamela. Was that Pamela? Are you sure there is going to be a launch of work office tomorrow? Because I am surprised I am not informed. Then she was like, yeah, I think it's like that because Solo told me so. Then I had to like, okay, since now she's appointed as a representative of the entire region of Acholi, let me be patient. Maybe she's going to get information from the chairperson and then get back to me. I waited until the D-Day of the event. Then in the morning, I called Batman Solo. I was like, Batman Solo, I have had this from a different place. What is really happening? Is there like this kind of event happening today? Then he was like, yeah, you were not informed. You mean Pamela did not tell you? I was like, now, how is the channel of communication going to be? You are the chairperson, I'm your vice. Am I not supposed to know things from you? Then the whole thing was like, okay, the thing is going to be at 5, please come around. That language, come around. I was like, oh, there is something here. You know, then as a leader, because I wanted to find out and get first-hand information, I had to go. I went there, they gave me a t-shirt of work, I put on, I was very smart, and I was walking. And then I was on his neck, I was like, Solo, I am a leader. They might call me and say, give a vote of thanks. And I might mention something that will shoot your toes. So please teach me, how far have we gotten here? People are happy. I cannot be happy for what I don't know. Because the lion might be jubilating over the death of a goat. You see? And I might because I had to, because I was a bit suspicious.
Because when the logo was built, my children had passed around and we looked at the logo. And, the logo has chicken, it has leopard, it has elephant, it has all those animals. And then my naughty daughter said, the leopard will come and chase away the chicken. And it could be a joke, but if you go deeper and know where the chicken is from and the leopard is from, and you go to our compound, boy, you have given me a lot of trouble. So I told my children, shut your mouth and don't say it. Because one of my colleagues will think that I came to eat him up, which is not true. That's the fun in it. So let's laugh about it. The humor is there, and let's continue to find solutions.
Yeah, so
I like the way the meeting is going.
yeah, so as I'm going towards the conclusion, Mama, we need you to understand that the formation of work was not bad in the beginning, but something became fishy when we had agreed that even when the 4 people were selected, not in our interest, we gave them a benefit of doubt that after finishing the paperwork and everything, come back. When we come back, sit down and let people choose who are going to be their real leaders, much as it is going to be interim, because we have record of wounds that these same people already registered in our hearts. And there is no way you can convince these people easily to trust them at any door, much as we are talking about unity and peace. I also expected in this meeting, because you're saying you want us to agree with these people, but they say two people cannot work together unless they agree. But here we are only a single party. Looks like you want to trick us to agree, and then you just go with a report and say these people have agreed.
I've done better than that.
Yes.
Because we are not.
You can have my word.
Okay.
You can have my word. It's not nobody's tricking you here. You can have my word. The honorable member of parliament is here. I have worked in these situations. I'm not a trickster. If people play games of tricks, I have not known that trick. So you can rest assured that we are not going to trick you. You will make your resolutions after you speak. We are going to start getting solutions and resolutions. And that we will go back with, and then we will also engage the other group. It's not about saying this is what they said, and now they agreed already to join you. You agreed to join them on these issues. And you have come out very well the way you have presented it. That you were at the heart, you chose the 30 people, and I've heard about that. And then you reduced the 30 people to 4 people. I've heard about that. And then you are talking about 10 members, and from 10 members, it came to 4 people who were supposed to be doing your paperwork. And then after the paperwork is finished, for me, what I see as a break of this process is where then you should have come together to say, okay, the paperwork is here. We are going to go together to present the paperwork to Afande and then come back. After that, once you do your registration and everything, then you have your elections. That was my understanding. But you are saying otherwise. For me, I think I see the break from here where the paperwork was done, what was supposed to be the way forward. That is where the whole break came. That's my understanding.
Yes, you're right.
Go ahead.